My name is Anna Beladen and this is 24 News Channel. Today our top story focuses on Canadian economics. Here in Canada, we have what is known as a mixed economy. Our resources are both publicly and privately owned. Companies such as CBC are publicly owned, while other companies such as Petro-Canada are privately owned. This allows individuals to have a say in how their economy works and how to use their resources. Now let us head over to Petro-Canada, where Mackenzie Reeves is currently reporting on mixed economy.
I'm here at Petro-Canada, a corporation that used to be publicly owned, also known as a crown corporation, but it is now privately owned. In a mixed economy, consumers drive most economic choices. It's all about the demand for items and the amount supplies. Supply and demand is really cause-effect. Take gas prices, for example. The cost demands on amount of people buying it and the amount of gas they have. When the demand goes up for a product, the supply goes down and the price goes up. If demand goes down, the supply goes up and the prices go up.
Excuse me, ma'am, but do you have time for one question?
I sure do.
How do you feel about mixed market?
Well, I feel like a mixed economy is much better because it has an equal balance of government and individuality. And individuality is so important. Along with government, I feel like when government is involved, decisions are made more professionally.
I see.
And when individuals make their decisions, the whole community is happy. No one can really complain because they made the decision, alright?
While Canada has a mixed economy, not all countries do. The United States, for example, has what is known as a marketed economy. Private businesses own and manage their own resources. They sell their products to consumers who make their own decisions about what to buy. Businesses succeed if they produce what consumers want. Otherwise, they fail. The government does not get involved. This differs from Canada, where the government may help businesses that go under. Government also has a say in what they do with the resources in Canada, whereas in the States, all resources are privately owned. However, there are some similarities between Canada and the United States. How they deal with marketed economies, they allow private businesses to control what they buy and sell. Both U.S. and Canada governments can get involved and inform, protect, and ensure good practices. They may intervene if they feel consumers are not being fairly treated. For example, the BC government started its own auto insurance program because they believe private insurers weren't making auto insurance were making it too expensive. Now let's head back to the field where Mackenzie Reeves is currently covering a strike going on at a local school.
Strike! Strike! When working and doing healthy food! Strike!
So why are you ladies protesting?
Well, more and more kids are coming to the cafeteria and they're ordering junk food, which just goes to show why the obesity rates are climbing around the world.
And also, kids are spending more and more time being lazy, and they're not getting outside and being active, and the more junk food they eat, the more that influences it.
Valid point. This is an example of action workers will take to ensure they are giving consumers what they believe is right. Other reasons for workers to take strike is to protest about wage, working hours, and workplace safety. During a strike, the employees do not work. Now head back to Anna in studio.
After the strike occurs, a group may be formed that is called a union. A union is an organization of workers that acts to protect workers' rights and interests. They represent the needs of employees. Unions are a part of Canadians' economics in different jobs, such as transportation, education, healthcare, forestry and construction, manufacturing, and public services. Canada has established labor laws such as the Canadian Labour Code that establishes that workers have the right to form unions as well as describe bargaining procedures for unions and employees and set standards for wages, hours and safety, and holidays. Not all jobs have unions. Unions have affected the economy by ensuring workers receive the proper pay and may affect production of products, depending if a worker goes on strike. They feel that the workplace is either unsafe or there is a lack of products. Now let's head out once and get into the fields with Mackenzie Reeves. She's talking to a young individual about how she feels about her identity is reflected by what she buys.
Hey Annabelle, I'm here today with Jordan talking about what she buys reflecting her personality and collective identity. How do you feel brand name clothes shape who you are?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I feel like what I wear really decides where I am in the school dance. Today I'm sporting a Gap shirt and True Religion jeans. My fashionable black flats coordinate with this outfit perfectly. Yeah, this outfit was a bit expensive, but I fit into the popular crowd, and that's all that matters in school, right? So, personally, I think this shows my personality as popular, and I have a great identity.
Thank you, Jordan. This is an example of how producers will market product towards individuals and groups like teenage girls. They make overpriced brand name clothing that girls feel the need to buy. If every girl goes by their own pair of Toms, they are becoming less individual and more collective. However, some girls choose to buy other diverse types of clothing that make them more individual. Competition is also something that affects individuals. Stores sell what is in demand, as various stores selling the same brand and items. They need a way to make their product unique. Oftentimes, they will lower their prices and make their item better quality. Now back to Anna in studio.
The final segment today is how different governments deal with scarcity. Scarcity is when materials, labor, or money is low in supplies and limited. In both Canada, individuals and the government can choose how to deal with the supplies when they are low. They decide how to solve it by considering what it is needed for and what it's wanted for, how the product is produced, and who will get it. In the United States, it is mainly made of individuals who decide how the resources get used. That's why they are scarce. Now let's head out for one final time into the field where Mackenzie is discussing different foods that are scarce here in Alberta.
After walking through the store, you can see the price of some items is higher than it normally is. This is because the amount of those items is lower and they have to rise their prices of the item. The limes, although at the peak of their growing season, are low in supply because of their having a bad growing season. This has caused stores to raise their price in both government and private-owned stores. In the state, prices are based off of what individuals feel they should be and may differ.
So how's your shopping experience been going?
It hasn't been going well. I wanted to buy some wines, but they were much too expensive.
How expensive were they?
Expensive than they should have been.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
$1.50.
Yeah, they were $1.50.
This is horseradish.
Thank you, Mackenzie. That is all we have for today. Join us next time on 24 News Channel and have a good night.